It's gone wild.
What's going on, guys? Alex here from GolfMagic. Hope you're well. Hope you're all taking advantage of the great weather we're having in the last few weeks and getting out on the course. Golf seems to be in a really good spot right now given the uncertain times, and with major season underway, it's only going to get better. Now, the GolfMagic team have managed to get their hands on the new range on the TaylorMade P700 series irons. The TaylorMade P700 series irons ranges from the TaylorMade P790 Ti irons, more of a game improvement iron but still with that tour feel, to the TaylorMade P7TW irons made specifically for Tiger Woods with that tour finish. Now, in 2020, 3 new lines have been released to the P700 series. These are the P7MB, the P7MC, and the P770. In this episode, we're going to get stuck into the P7MB irons. We ran through a range of testing at Farley Golf Club, starting with looks, tech, performance, price, and rating overall. So let's get stuck in. The TaylorMade P7MB irons slot into the P700 series as the least forgiving iron. So here at GolfMagic, we were not expecting any sort of cavity back, but we were very interested to see if the blade style was going to follow the same trend as the P7TW irons, which have already been released. To no surprise to us, we were blown away by the looks of these irons. I'm sure you will be too. From the back, the sleek, minimalistic finish gave the club a very classic feel, with the TaylorMade logo and robotic font making it a true player's iron, and arguably one of the best looking irons of 2020. I'm sure you can already tell, and I will say it a lot throughout this video, but this is a proper butter knife blade. Nothing about this club shouts forgiveness at all, so we definitely wouldn't suggest this set to a higher handicapper. Even if you're 11 or 12 handicapper, we probably wouldn't suggest this to you either, unless you're planning to frame them in your living room. We already had a pretty good idea of how this club was going to perform before we gave it a go. So, when analysing the looks of the TaylorMade P7MB irons, the GolfMagic team couldn't give this iron set anything else other than a 10 out of 10. The sleek, elegant finish, tied with the modern style that is so apparent with TaylorMade, makes this iron a piece of art to all golf nuts. Now, let's talk about the tech side of these irons. The P7MBs are defined by its clean and elegant appearance. This beautifully crafted muscleback reflects a level of the game that we all aspire to. The Tour-inspired shaping takes cues from Dustin Johnson's Tour prototype irons. They boast a thin top line, minimal offset, even less offset than the prior P730 iron, and a narrow sole. Forged from 1025 carbon steel with a machine-milled face comprised of the most aggressive score lines in TaylorMade's arsenal, P7MB represents the ultimate in shot making and control. Matt Bovey, the product creation officer at TaylorMade, says the all-new P7MB irons were designed for the best ball strikers in the world who demand surgical-like control and a pure feel at impact. Contemporary aesthetics, with a thin top line and thin sole, creates a minimalist profile that appeals to the ultimate purist. Faceted muscleback geometry delivers a seamless blend of traditional performance with a contemporary look and design. With a mirrored surface across the back bar that allows light to reflect in multiple dimensions, this modern era classic looks timeless in both the playing position and in the bag. The geometrical positioning of the back bar also delivers precise CG placement and mass properties for optimal performance at the game's highest level. As well as this, let's talk about the compact grain forging of these irons. TaylorMade Golf Company continues its trend of going beyond the traditional to develop products that exceed expectation at every level of the game. With the new compact grain forging process, the company relies on a 2,000-ton forging press to assure that each P7MB and also the P7MC line is formed with masterful precision and a tighter grain structure designed to provide the most solid, consistent feel possible. The process uses up to 2 to 3 times the forging pressure commonly found in the golf industry. This additional force refines the microstructure, decreasing the grain size to improve the overall properties of the metal. The high pressure forging also produces a head that is near final in shape, requiring minimal hand polishing for repeatable, precise geometry. It's clear that the technology involved in the P7MB irons has impressed tour players across the globe. Charlie Hull and Rory McIlroy have already put these irons in their bag, and we fully expect more to appear in the coming months. From the GolfMagic team, we're giving the technology an 8 out of 10. Right, so let's get down to the performance factor of these stunning irons. Jack and I from the GolfMagic team took the P7MB irons down to Farley Golf Club to put them through their paces. We attempted a variety of shots with them and got to grips with how they performed for us amateur golfers. It's important to mention that whilst Jack and I are decent golfers, we are not off scratch and we are not professional golfers. We've both used blades and muscleback irons in the past, but these irons were a step up for us. With any muscleback or bladed iron, the main aspect that amateur golfers tend to talk about is the forgiveness factor, and that's what we'll be focusing on with these irons. Before hitting the TaylorMade P7MB irons, we didn't expect any sort of help from the club. I'm sure all of you at home are thinking the same, given the looks of these irons. Nevertheless, we were still taken aback by how much of a player's iron this really was. When you didn't strike the centre of the club face, the P7MB irons really let you know about it. Off-centre strikes were punished significantly, with a loss of distance being the main thing we noticed. When we struck it well, the feel and response that you received from the P7MBs were remarkable. The feel was crisp, with the sound being superb, and it really made for an enjoyable range session between the two of us. Adding on to this, the workability for the irons was pretty easy, and we did notice a slight increase in distance to competitor muscleback irons we compared to, as well as a slightly lower ball flight. Overall, the GolfMagic team were very impressed by the performance of the TaylorMade P7MB irons. It's very clear that they are a player's iron, and any player with superb ball striking would enjoy having a set of these in their bag. We're going to give the P7MBs an 8 out of 10 for their performance. However, if we were better players, this rating would have been higher. So, let's talk about the price of the TaylorMade P7MB irons. The P7MB irons come in with an RRP of £1,299 for a 7-iron set. This is the same RRP as some of the previous models in the TaylorMade P700 series iron range, such as the TaylorMade P790 irons. However, this is still on the upper side of the price range in comparison to other players' irons. Nevertheless, this was expected with previous RRPs in the P700 series iron range, so there's not too much to complain about. Overall, the GolfMagic team are giving the TaylorMade P7MB irons a 7 out of 10 for their price. So, that brings us to the final part of the video where we give an overall rating for the clubs. The P7MB irons may be the best looking irons of 2020 and even the last several years. Their sleek, elegant design blew everyone at GolfMagic away. Are they for all amateur golfers? Definitely not. They're for low handicappers, and this is obvious with the design. But if you are a low handicapper golfer, these may be the perfect irons for you. At GolfMagic, we gave the TaylorMade P7MB irons an 8.5 out of 10. So that's the end of the video, guys. If you enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel so you can keep an eye out on our next reviews. If you think these deserve anything other than an 8.5 out of 10, let us know what you think in the comments. The P7MC and P770 irons will be out very soon.